Hi guys, welcome to week 3. We're going to start this week off by setting up some SketchUp shortcuts in our SketchUp preferences. I really like using shortcuts because I've been using these shortcuts for at least 5 years, and I found that they really cut down on my working time. I would say even by half, because instead of going to the toolbar or instead of pulling these windows down every single time, what I'm actually doing is I'm setting my hand on the keyboard so that I can work with one hand on the mouse, one hand on the keyboard, and I don't have to waste a lot of time looking for all the tools I want. And it actually helps me. I found that I'm a little bit more intuitive when I work because I'm actually thinking about the tools I'm using just by the letter I assign to them. So this is one of the few places where it is a little bit different on a PC than a Mac. So I'm obviously working on a Mac computer, and I'm going to show both PC and Mac users how to set this up. For a Mac user, you're going to go to SketchUp Preferences. It's right under About SketchUp. For a PC user, you're going to go to Window, and there's Preferences. You won't find it on my pull down because I'm on a Mac. But what you're going to get is you're going to get a box that looks like this. I just took a screenshot from a PC. So you have all these different options on your left-hand dialog box, and you're going to want to go down to Shortcuts, and here's where you're going to start adding in your stuff. And we're going to get into that in a second because I'm just going to start with inserting some preferences here, and you'll see how it works. So if I go to SketchUp Preferences and I select Shortcuts, what I've done is I'm starting from scratch because I want to show everybody how this works. So what I did is I did a Reset All, and Reset All basically clears it all out. I've got no keys off to the side, so I'm starting from a completely clean slate. I'm not going to use any of the SketchUp preferences that they've used. Some of them will be pretty similar, and some of them might even be exactly what it is, but this gives me the option to go through and actually set every single shortcut myself. Because what will happen is if I set a shortcut and it's already being used for something, I have to go through the step of overriding it, which is not a big deal, but I like to just start from a clean slate. So the way this works is I'm just going to kind of slowly go down. And by the way, I want to just say that you do not have to follow the preferences that I give you specifically. The preferences I'm using I've found have worked for students for a long time, and they work for me, so I would advise it. But if you have specific things that you think are a little more intuitive to yourself, by all means. You'll notice that everything is organized based on the pull-down tabs and all these tools on the side. Some of these tools are duplicated up here within these pull-down tabs, but any action that you can do in SketchUp is going to be available to generate a shortcut. I only really assign shortcuts to the things that are the most commonly used for me. So the way I'm going to do this on a Mac is I'm going to go through and I'm just going to scroll down and look at the ones that I use the most. So I definitely use delete a lot. So I'm going to go to my Edit, Delete, and I'm just going to select that. And for a Mac, I'm just going to hit D, and it's going to automatically show up on the side. If I'm working on a PC, and again, I'm sorry, this is a screenshot, so I can't actually move this. But what I'm going to do is I would select what it is that I want to add the shortcut to. I'm going to type it in this box, and I have to actually hit the plus sign right here, and it's going to add it. So that's the only difference. There's one more step on a PC, and that's just that you have to hit plus here. If you reset all at the beginning, you won't have any that are already assigned, so you'll be able to just kind of add them all from scratch. So that's really the only difference. We're not going to deal with these buttons until the very end. All right. So I have added my first one. The second one that I'm going to do is delete guides. And when I do delete guides, it's within the realm of delete, so it's intuitive for me that it's going to also be a D. But this time I'm going to add Shift. So I actually hold Shift down and type D at the same time. So I'm holding down both buttons at the same time, so you'll see that I've got that little plus. When you're doing it on your PC, when you do the Shift plus D, you'll see the Shift, and then you'll see a plus sign, and you'll see the D after it. So you know that you've gotten both of those. For Select All, I'm going to do Shift A. For Select None, I'm going to just do an N. For Edit Hide, I'm going to do an H. I'm going to do Unhide Last is going to be U. Unhide All is going to be Shift U. My lock is K. My unlock selected is Shift K. I'm not going to do one for Make Component. The default in SketchUp for Make Component is G, which I find a little odd because it seems like Group would be the automatic choice for that. So when we go to Edit Make Group, we're going to hit the G button for that. Okay, so that's kind of it. I'm not going to go through all of them because I think that will make this video a little bit long and tiresome. But you can kind of see how it works. As you go through my list, you can start scrolling down through all of these, and you can add in the shortcuts that you want to add, and you'll see how it works after you're done. But what's nice is once you're done, you'll see that we can start moving really, really quickly. You're not going to once you're done on a PC, you're just going to want to hit OK. You're not going to want to hit import or export. You're definitely not going to want to hit cancel because that'll just undo what you've done. And if you hit reset all, that's just going to clear all the work you've done. So just hit OK when you're done. And on a PC, on a Mac, when you're done, you don't have to type anything. You just go ahead and click that out. So once you get a few shortcuts in, you'll notice that you can start moving quickly, and I'll demonstrate that in the next video.